one of the nicest people I've ever met. And he's so super, super talented, and he makes things you just really want to wear.
The hair is wet and stringy. Who has time to dry their hair when the world is waiting for them?
There's nothing more chic than a woman with wet hair wearing fancy clothes, is there? That you're that confident that you can just wear your hair that easy. I think that's very ultimate in sophistication.
Alexander Wang is always inspired by life in the big city, and one thing you see in New York is a lot of people rushing around on bikes. There's a lot of that speed in the new collection.
Coming off of Resort, I was still really feeling the idea of speed and velocity and kind of these girls kind of living in the danger zone and living on the edge. And so that kind of led us to this idea of BMX riders and motocross and speed racers. I wanted it really fast, I wanted it really modern, very like about the future.
It's a rock and roll girl. It's a very contemporary, fun, likes to party.
The technique that came to mind when I was thinking about all of these things was this idea of perforation and lasering and burnouts and things that felt a little bit more violent.
It's always been from the street, and it's always been a little tougher, and it's always been, with a certain amount of athleticism. You can see it through all the details, the anorak pulls and the drawstrings, and right down to the accessory now is the backpack.
A lot of the fabrications we pulled actually from sneaker mills, so we pulled a lot of like AirTech and like 3D meshes, and it gave us these very kind of more controlled silhouettes on top.
To me, I always walk away feeling like I've seen a tribe.
Maybe, yeah. I think a little American Indian, like a little Aztec. There's something about it, but it was modern because of the colors and the way it was styled.
I said American Indian, and he said, "Are you mad?"
That's what he said? What did he say it was?
We took a print, which is basically the idea of a stadium, and we took out all the stadium seating charts and we blocked it out and we reformatted it so it looks like a kind of like this emblem, and we kind of lasered it into little leather dresses and then did them as racing jerseys with swimsuits underneath.
There's something quite American Indian about them. It's always your tribal thing, isn't it?
It is. I mean, I always think of our girls as little gangs.
What is the secret of his global success?
He connects with a sensibility that is generational. His girl exists here as she does in London, as she does around the world, and they speak to each other. They access the same information at the same time, regardless of where they are. So the fact that he might be living in New York really doesn't make any difference. He is quite global.